Sorry for the abrupt leave. We did have a wrong build on the side of Resurrection, so standard rules apply. That will be a negative applied to them. 1.5, I believe, which in grand scheme of things, Sav, is actually quite detrimental, especially in a finals series. Having that negative 1.5 is like literally game changing, especially when you consider the fact that oh, sorry. It's point 0.5. I misspoke. I might have said 1.5. Sorry, point 0.5. Again, still very detrimental in the grand scheme of things. Considering they did let Blight through, it obviously was Zetsuobou's pick, Tavi, as you know. Again, not afraid to ego the big man on the Blight. I think everyone knows Sen's pretty renowned on the Blight. Has been for a while now. G Money also pretty good on the Blight these days for a long time. So really, really impressed and glad that they let that slide through because it's actually five really, really, really high level sets that I should expect. I'm just gonna expect a TB off the rip tonight, Tavi. I'll be completely honest, which probably isn't good for the time restraint. But honestly, with the level of these teams, brother, they're just too good to think any otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, Blight, I think, with it being one of the highest pick killers of the season, we're gonna see the semifinals match like two of the highest placed teams, which came out of the group stage, just fight it out, and maybe we can take notes from this Blight set. But Sen's already always headed to the bottom side, trying to find someone off it, and maybe he did see someone. I'm not entirely sure because uh, he's too fast for me. I guess he misses the second rush there, so I guess he didn't find anyone, but. Yeah, that's I guess the first thing you want to be doing as Blight is just trying to find that first survivor, which should be stealthing. And in this case, I think Resurrection should be know what to do here. It finds Gunther G Money off the pallet here of this 6 and actually takes the vault. Does get the M2 onto him using 3 rushes, but again, Resurrection. Oh my gosh, he's actually deciding to lead the first chase, seeing Gunther here, and yeah, maybe he's expecting and kind of like scared of what Resurrection can do here.
I think that was a super meta game from Sen. Maybe just predicting the DS on the G Money. It's probably working that gen pretty far down. Is pretty good. Good jiggy there from Raven. Yeah, no, very, very slow start from the big man. Not like him. He's not actually gonna get a tag here. He's gonna have to go through another pallet, and he's gonna try and bump around. Does get that tag onto Raven. Very nice logic there. And Raven's just gonna keep all the way down to the one side, which I'm not sure if is the. I think that's just the. Oh, good rushes around that tile there. I've forgotten the word. It was more of a made up on the go death spot. I don't think that was the initial death spot. We are doubling down the mid 4. I don't think that actually is mid 8. Sorry, I think that's gonna pop at all. He's gonna choose to go main first, so definitely will pops in his face as well. The main gen Tavi. Something I noticed, Bully does have the young Cooler Brian. I don't know if they got a buff in the update, but if it did, good rushes as well. Really good tag there.
Yeah, Columbine did get a 25% increase in terms of numbers, so it went from 125 to 150, which is actually a big deal, but that's a second gen popping in his face. That's a mid gen too, so mid and main being done. That's really good split for the survivors. He misses a second rush onto G Money, well, second set of rushes that he missed anyway. That's a bit rare from Sen. Like, pretty much we've seen him be on point with rushes this entire season, and maybe again, like a little bit of a shake-up coming in this set, but Ada's going to be getting the chase yet again. Our timeout, of course. Raven 222 taking the chase, and holding it in the main building. Knows that the gens are done around this area. Has to play the pallet though, because it's ping, and also it's really not much else safe to play it off. But Sen's got the rushes in the bag, gets the down, and this is the obsession. So you could see a DS come into play, but considering that G Money probably the DS, that's not the case. But the DS comes through. Raven gets to live for longer, gets to loop this main pallet, gets the pre-drop as well. Just continues looping this main building, buying so much time. Could see the reset as well. I think someone did get injured in the background, right? So there's a reset. But Sen's actually just deciding to break the pallet. Raven's just gonna play this chase out. Actually doesn't have that much to go off. So unfortunate there, but they've got enough time to potentially get another gen done for this chase. That was pretty alright, yes.
That is unbelievable. G Money played so aggressive off the rip. I thought he was DS. To see that Raven 222 is actually the DS player. That was almost a double meta game back from Resurrection there. Yeah, very impressive. There's levels to this shit, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. I'm not sure if that was planned, but if it was from Resurrection, holy bajoli. But we do see Shaq in the background pop. Um, Alexander just gonna camp this filler. Does get the stun onto Sen. Sen's looking a bit slow at the moment. I can't lie. He's looking a bit on the rougher side. We do see him go all the way back. Can Kervin's just set up edge map one, which Sen doesn't really know, and you can tell he doesn't know that. And he's kind of playing in a spot of panic right now, I would say. Maybe not panic, full-blown panic, but as soon as he realizes that Kervin is just sitting edge map one and gonna pull last second, it might actually be bad. He does have an inkling, so that macro is coming through a little bit. They're stacking out that Shaq Gen Tavi. We're gonna see Kervin
No.
SB in from the edge map. That is a freaking beautiful
Oh my
timed
god.
pull. And I think the death spot is just going to be all the way at Shaq Tavi. Now, again, we're at 1 gen. If this chase is even somewhat good, which I think I don't know if we
Oh,
make this filler
it's
Tav dog.
close. It's close. It's close.
He's baiting on it. Oh,
Oh,
what the heck is?
alright. Well, that's an unfortunate down for Raven there, because I feel like if he got the power stun, it would have made the jungle gym, and then the chase would have continued there. But still, nevertheless, that's the 4th gen done here, and Sen doesn't have any kind of like other pressure to go with this tunnel out. You know, there's no injuries and the ball. There's no like other potential tunnel outs coming. He even misses the dashes onto Gunther again. Oh man, did he not see Gunther? I mean, maybe that was a consideration, but he's just going back to this generator, I believe, on the top side, and just kicks it for the eruption and Columbine and the pop. So that's going to be in play at least for Sen, as we have to take stock of the situation. It is 3 gen on this east side of the map, so it is still kind of playable, but the survivors still, again, have a good amount of exhausts, have a good amount of resources to put off. Of course, we saw Kervin with the deliverance in the background, getting that off with the Ada, but he's also got, I believe, a full medkit too, which with the buff body knowledge allows him to reset really fast. I believe in like the normal healing speed, 16 seconds. So yeah, Sense, I guess, needs to get something going here, because even with the eruption and Columbine, there's only so many times you can apply that before you're going to run out of the regression perks. The Coven, actually, you see him go really nice stealthy around this one edge, and it's just, again, kind of forcing out the kicks from Sen, or just slowly getting the progressions in. But Sen senses someone is here, is having a bit of a look around, sees his touch mark, so that is going to be, I believe, Gunther being found here at this jungle gym. So we'll have to see what he can cook. Maybe Sen does decide to commit to this chase, but it is, again, a jungle gym, so some things could be done very nicely here for the survivors.
Yeah, and Kervin's just sort of sitting up on one right now, and Sen knows it, I think. And Alex is able to make that pallet. Well played to Alex, and Rez sort of playing crazy right now, I'll admit. Sen has to keep up. He's gonna hit that through the window. Bloody Jesus Louises. He's gonna choose to leave, get his tag onto Kervin. Now, if Kervin's pre-left here, this is actually quite good. He's not able to pre-leave. We actually caught a glimpse of him through the window there. Sen actually over-rushing, guys. Kervin ran into him down 2 side, and the problem is, oh, this is G Money actually. Sorry, I thought this was Kervin. G Money must be Kervin must be, yeah, Kervin must be stealthed up at 1 still, which is interesting. G Money does have that balance dead hard, so he's going to be able to hold a bit of chase. No fillers. Yeah, does get a nice little flick onto G Money. There is Sensational Sen. And Kervin, yeah, still, bro, Kervin is playing crazy. He's just pre-leaving hard out, fixated, urban, not urban, sorry, fixated, SB. Quite a interesting approach from the whole of Resurrection. Interesting in the terms of very serious. They look like they really want to win, putting themselves in a box seat right now to, sort of be able to wear Send down with kicks, and has Eruption of Plot on every single gen. He's even going to double up on kicks on the 1 generator we have over here. Might even break the filler, yeah. But G Money in the background should just be getting reset for free, because Sen really can't afford to look for Kervin all the way 1. He's actually gone all the way into main now. So very good from Kervin. Very well played. And G Money might have to pull off another extreme stealth. He's going to get straight back into chase, and I'm assuming Kervin will be right back on that 1 generator as Alex rotates to 5 Tavi.
absolutely. I mean, you just have to go split pressure here, make sure that all the options are open, depending where Sen decides to go. You can see Sen just immediately return to the generator. That's some caller blind value coming into play there, giving the notification of the good skill check. And doesn't see scratch marks, so again, has probably a
Yeah.
good idea that Kervin's around here somewhere. He's stealthing behind the tires. I think he might have just completely rushed past Kervin. And Sen's not going to be able to find him at all. Might just have to leave this and look back at that 5 gen. But he's still trying to snip it out. He's trying to find the rat who's been working this one generator. But it's going to be close. He's checking the lockers. But Kervin is just around 5 meters nearby watching it happen. Watching through these little bit of cool ass shades that Ace has, and Sen's gonna leave yet again. So that's, I think, the third time we've seen this one generator be worked for free by Kervin, and Sen's not. Oh, okay. I was gonna say he doesn't get a connection on the rush, but does predict Alexandre's piling there. So he does get a tag, and now he's actually deciding to commit. I think this is a pretty alright chase to commit here because you think about it, he is running out of kicks. He hasn't been able to find Kervin for like 50 years, so like it's just gonna be Sen applying Eruption. Actually, just heading back. He's not gonna decide to pick up at all. And yeah, this is wow, a bit of a panic time maybe for Sen, because normally there you'd pick up drums, maybe try and apply a Pop Goes a Weasel, but Sen really just doesn't want this gen to pop at all.
Yeah, I think he's definitely scared of maybe G-Money in the background rotating. I don't think it's. I don't know. He probably had time
It's a
to
hard
maybe
play.
pick. I know that's a hindsight comment to make, of course. But yeah, maybe had a little bit extra time than he thinks. He's really worried about this one gen, as you should be. He's really committing to looking for Kervin, and Kervin's playing it absolutely beautiful. If we could get a swap onto Kervin, Gohan, yeah, he's still behind these bloody tires as well. He's gonna get found eventually, able to sprint burst away. I believe he does have this main filler. No, he doesn't. It's been kicked, sorry. So he's gonna take a tag. Well played to Kervin this whole trial so far, but that was an amazing stealth. And this is Deli getting chased, so he's going to be rewarded. He's going to reward his team with basically free pressure. Does get smited through that locker as well. And Sen up opting to actually choose to pick the Deliverance Survivor. Very interesting choices from Senori tonight. I guess Resurrection are backing him into a tough spot here, and he's playing his cards close to his chest, excuse me, and honestly, yeah, like look at this, just pre-leaving for all the new teams, or even younger teams, maybe less experienced. This is a perfect, session in school in class, pretty much on how to play Survivor, on every set, let alone just Blood. This is amazing. You can see how tight the gens are, especially for a Blight. Like you said, Tavi, that east side 3 gen is actually quite. You can get some good ones on. Usually it's like top like main side to like top right, or you get like bottom left on this map. So yeah, the east side region is pretty detrimental. This is definitely holdable for a Blight, 1-3 mid all the way down 5, but they are stretching Sen very thin here. He's actually opting to walk now instead of using his rushes. He knows he's on limited time right now. He knows that every rush, every play that he makes from here on out, as G Money sort of just runs in to Sen here. This is probably going to be a 2-tap onto G Money. We do see a bit of movement. Sen just trying to get a bit too nonchalant with the rushes, and honestly, Tavi, Resurrection are really at the point where they need to just hold on to that nutrition battle, because they are kind of, sort of playing strong, but one down on top of the gens, and it's over.
Absolutely, I agree with that so much. Like, you can have a set going so well for you, can be up like multiple generators over like what you would think is completely fine. I know I've been screaming, but yeah, like one mistake, like one stealth being found, like, or like the reset being found, that could just be completely it. But G Money, Gunther gonna get reset, probably a track, and Sen probably knows this too, but he's too scared of this topside generator from being completed. Like he's just looking back here. Just looking back and trying to catch out again. The survivor's been working this, but we saw from this spectator that the Alexandre, who'd been working the generators, already behind main, is already 50 miles away. So like again, Resurrection, I feel like they're playing this way more patient out, and maybe more patient than Sen, maybe than what he's used to. I'm not entirely sure, because Sen, I feel like throughout this entire season, all the Black games have been a very like brief battle resulting in 4Ks, but this one seems like it's going to be a little bit more of an endurance for Sen as he goes for the blasters on our main, goes for the flick, breaks a pallet though. It's not going to be an injury onto Alexandre. At least he did find a survivor though. So I don't know, Jarvis, but Sen is being slowly worn down, and again, like really well played to the side of Resurrection. I feel like they have been on the scrims, on the grind to try and make it through to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I would be lying. I would be completely truthful. I thought, as we do see G Money into Chase, I think he is going to make Shaq because 5 rushes were used. He does have the Shaq pellet up. So assuming G Money doesn't get 5 rush down here on Shaq, which he shouldn't, G Money making quite a blunder there. That's probably the first time I've seen G Money make a blunder of that magnitude. But we do see the eruption proc onto Alex back main, and yeah, they are, like you said, Tavi, they're playing so slow right now. They're playing very they like, I guess like they want to win. I guess is the best way to put it, is it not? Yeah, we do see 5 rushes on main onto Alex converting there. We do see a reset onto G Money in the background, but nah, as you said, Tavi, like I would be completely honest. I thought Resurrection were looking a bit shaky during the season. They weren't performing maybe how they thought they should have. The 2 finals games they've played, though, my God, they look like OG Res. And it's really amazing to see that even the players such as, Curvin and Raven, some of the, I guess you could use the term role players in this instance, stepping up, making themselves look like big game players, like actually, very good to see. I'm very impressed. Again, the pickup onto Alex, I believe that might have actually been an unbreakable. It could have been Curvin, but yeah, it's so efficient. Curvin there gets tagged on back main. Good initiative from Sen and Intuition to find the bloke back behind the Rock 11. But yeah, as you said, Tavi, at the very start of the game, uh, it is going to be probably a long night. Or maybe I said that. Oh, nice little jiggy
No,
on the edge map there
no.
from Alex.
Oh my god, that is huge. Like he doesn't get the down here. Alexandre, he just legs it towards us, and this chase is going on for longer than Sen wants it to be. He's playing the ties. He doesn't really care though, because this bought more than enough time for those generators to be getting progress. And look, Sen is doesn't even care yet again about this down. Those are potentially, again, there's some play going on here, but those extra 10 seconds on the edge map have bought Gunther those like extra shots in the gen, and Sen doesn't even want to look. Does find Gunther though, so this is the chase he does want to take. But again, Gunther might be able to do something here. But I feel like he might be going 2-tap though, 2-tap Mr. Gunther. But at least a BL should be able to get him bot side first for a little bit, as we do see the chase again. Vision onto him. Sen's going for the patient game, does get the down, and I guess this is where Sen starts to convert, because he does know where everyone is at the moment. But Kervin, I think, might still have a full medkit in his arms, and with botany knowledge, oh no, it's not full at all. But I was gonna say like he could reset himself, but yeah, I guess Sen maybe be able to convert off this, but still not able to find. Okay, no, he does find Kervin. That's the second down of the trial, and Alexandre is leaving the light scratch marks on the ground. So that's Gunther being picked up. Okay, but okay, I think Sen did manage to secure a 4K here, but I might be speaking a little bit too early. I feel like Unbreak did get tunneled out of the trial previously. FTP is just being used, and I think this might be it here, just from what I thought was a completely fine position. We see a couple of tags come in, and then the whole trial has collapsed into a 4K.
We have Unbreakable on the builds. By any chance? Just have a gaze around if we do. We don't have Unbreakable on the build, so that means Raven was your Unbreakable, so that means it is a 4K1. Well played, Descendery. Sort of an anticlimactic ending. We took a couple of tags and we got slugged. The 2 blokes got slugged and then we FTP'd. Yeah, I don't know. 4K1. Probably, definitely not the result that Resurrection thought they would probably be getting from that. Well played, Descend. That was a very long, nutritious battle, as one of our old friends would say. But he outlasted. He got his reps in, and even though it didn't look actually too solid for him throughout the whole game, he has performed, and he has gotten the 4K1, Tav. And I think you and I would both agree that 4K1 on the Blight set is actually quite a comfortable result to sort of play against, if you're the Survivor group going in. And even the Killer, 4K1 is not amazing, unachievable. It's definitely more survivor sided, but no, honestly, yeah, well played, well played. I don't really have much words for that. That was again a really anticlimactic ending, a bit abrupt, if you will.
I mean, we could just see how quickly that the survivors just went down as soon as Gunther's stealth was found. I feel like again, I was a bit worried for Sen because he was really struggling to find the stealths really early on, and that managed to get the survivors so much free time on the generators. But then gets it down onto, I believe it was Curvin on the edge map. No, it's probably Alexandria on the edge map of 11. Then does find Gunther at 5, and then everything just goes downhill from there. So yeah, I mean, I was a bit worried for him. He still gets 4K1 though, definitely. Should be extremely proud of that and should be happy about that because I feel like he could have definitely gotten outed there. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see what G Money can do on the blind, as you call him, as we head to a short intermission. Maybe Resurrection can get a 4K1. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to what was quite again a very anticlimactic end to the last set. We did see 4K one after what I thought. I think a lot of people who were watching thought could have been outs, but nah, very well played to Sen. That's pretty game winning stuff for him to be able to 4K that. So very well played him. Fair play, fair play. But overall, Tavi, yeah, I'm expecting maybe. I haven't actually seen the survivor lineup as we've loaded in. So that will make a big difference. We do have Baddie Backy, Sensational Sen, Stract, and Tiff making her first appearance, or Takara as her in-game IGN it would be. So, first appearance from her. This is going to be a very, very big occasion. I'm sure she's going to want to perform. And let's just see how it goes, Tav.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Gunther here does have the penalty. I don't exactly remember who got the penalty off the side, but I know it was Resurrection. So Sen's gonna take a nice little stun with the Champion of Light Blind as well, as Gunther actually just continues his chase. I'm surprised he's going for this because, you know, uh, he got stunned on main with the Champion, but Sen's just gonna give him a pretty free tag, and Gunther's going for the swing around. Nice little tech there, but it just wasn't enough, and Sen's gonna make that window of the main building. So this chase is gonna last a little bit longer around this mid side, but this is, you know, a much faster, earlier, what do you call it? Find and tag compared to the previous trial. So he's gonna be playing the 50s. Actually wins it on ping. Wow, I don't even know how he's playing this Sin car on ping. This is crazy. He's so patient around this, and this is really good stuff here from Sen. He's playing for 4K2. Gunther goes for the swing. Sen's run past like a maniac, and he's still going for this chase. Gunther's actually breaking the pallet. Oh my god, and that's just 80 seconds down the drain. And second Champion of Light. So again, Champion of Light buff coming into play, and Gunther I think should be able to secure these rushes around main, and Sen's making a really difficult punch for the flare as well. He's gonna make the second main filler. Oh my god, what have we just seen?
Yeah, bit of excuse me, bit of shakiness from Big G. Well played to Sen, very well played. That was some sensational, if you will, jiggies. Gunther opting to lead chase. We did see someone there. I believe that might have been Stract set up for the reset onto Sen at the rendezvous point. We do have a stealth coming in here, so whoever was off this gen pre-left, very well played to them. A lot of great, internal comms must be coming out from both our survivor teams. We do see Sen. He did have that champion a lot, as you mentioned, Tavi, and G Money is not impressed with Sen at all. He's just turning his back and I'm just going to let him do his thing. And I don't know if you are on off that sort of gens he's got mid to top side tough, but I think Gunther wants to hold those as much as he can. He even keeps looking back at 5. We do see Strack down at Shack 2, ready to enter chase tough.
Yeah, I think this, you know, now you say I really didn't pay attention to the gen before, but this could be a little bit of bait coming in from Zetsuobou, as Mr. Shrek here on the right does take chase around this. He has a pretty decent RNG here, but he's already injured. This health state might not last that long, but the first gen's already popped here on this bot side, so maybe he doesn't need to last long at all. And Gunther's going for the patient games with the rushes, goes for the swing around, Shrek, he nearly dodged that! But I guess the hitbox is just enough for Gunther to get it down. So after a really great start from Zetsuobou, this gen getting popped, Strat gets down on this bot side. So this is, I guess, the plan just being worked out for them, because pretty much all they need to do here is pop an additional 3 generators to secure the win. And we can already see this 10 generator has so much progress. Veteran Phase being applied as well. So Gunther really wants to try and hold this area if possible, but I don't know if he can again, because we saw a really, really fast reset coming in previously, and Main's also got so much progress here, even though Sen, of course, Veteran Fade. They're still going to pop eventually, and Baki's just, again, doing a beautiful job stealthing with the deliverance. So, yeah, this is going to be really hard for Gunther, I think, because of that penalty. But even without the penalty, I would say things might already be a little bit unfavored against him because, oh my gosh, they get the reset too. So that's just huge.
Yeah, that probably will make it an probably desperate on the bloke in the background. That isn't a quick reset. There is the prediction in the prophecy being fulfilled, as you saw on the build there. We do see Strack into chase G Money. Oh my lord, almost converted onto rushes, but Strack with a really sensational jiggy. We do see G Money. He is playing a bit slower. Sort of the way Sen approached his, or no, maybe not approach, but sort of the way Sen had to start his game. And my god, Strack's playing juicy on this pallet right now, able to make bottom 5. And I think G Money's gonna have to leave this chase as well, and this is looking really bad for the side of Resurrection.
Lost pretty much every shred of pressure in this trial, except maybe a little bit on Sen here. But it's really, I don't think, gonna account for too much, because if you think about it, this is another threshold coming in, and you can't really afford this in Gunther because, you know, these gens are, again, getting closer and closer to completion. That's already pretty much a tie condition coming in, like sort of a tie condition as at third gen pops. And Ardeli, Maki, Mr. Maki's going to get force off 11, and I guess they don't really care about this too much because, again, like it's just another fresh hook. It's on deliverance, so pretty much just unhook themselves as much whenever they want. So, Gunther's still gonna pick though. Maybe he wants to get some pop value on the generators, but still, he needs to try and defend these 4 last generators and kill all the survivors before one of them pops. And they don't really care. Yeah, Track's already on 50%, so I honestly think Zetsuobou will take this one. Sending him a prediction pretty late, but I'd say yeah, like they definitely played this out well. Sen's first chase here, and another flare coming in from Sen, just kind of showing who's the boss here on this Blight set, I guess. But yeah, definitely deserved from Zetsuobou, I think, and I guess takes the MVP in this one for both Survivor and Killer performance.
Yeah, I mean, well played to Sen. That was probably the performance that you need to start off. It's that those big time players making the big time plays. And yeah, we do see that the Shaq Gen being doubled in the background. He is going to find Tiff edge map here. Takara, I should say, sorry. She does have the overcome, and he's going to try and make all the way corner. He's able to sort of jiggy the 5 rushes, so well played to her. She's going to be able to make the tile, fakes the window as well. Must have been in the 1v1 lab recently. She's honed in right now. He's going to try, just sends it for the pallet as well. Very well played. He's going to be able to make it too. Does get the drop going. Wins the 50 back across as well. So, oh my goodness, what a chase from Tiff. And she's honestly just living forever. This is a chase that we don't need. And I believe, Tavi, in the background, that is first set goal, like you said, big fella. So 1-0 on the side. And this Takara chase is going on for way too bloody long. Choosing to go edge map. What? And the jiggy onto Gunther. Oh my god.
This is a survivor I've never seen play. This is a survivor that just stepped up in key spot, the team captain, and we just see this chase come out of them. And that just, I don't know, man. That's just one of the cleanest chases here. Doesn't really have much to work with and still manages to get so much time for that. But anyway, that's yeah, the win goes to Zetsuobou, and I will check the next sets as well because Resurrection did get their own picks too, so it's not gonna be like necessarily all this going to Zetsuobou, but I'll just check is what I'm trying to say. We have Dark Lord, and that was picked by Resurrection, so oof, we might see an X-Stap Dark Lord honestly, but Dark Lord set 2, Hillbilly set 3, Oni set 4, and Khan set 5. So yeah, we might get to see a replay of the own, but definitely this first one is going to Zetsuobou. So if Resurrection want to have a chance in this, they will have to go to Oni. So, oh man, though, Zetsuobou definitely got to be feeling good about this first Blight set, and it's just, yeah, really amazing stuff coming out. Um, they just managed to convert so nicely after that first chase, I believe, and Gumdo really couldn't do much with the wind condition. So, Strax taking chase again. Does have life available, I believe, so should be able to play that out just a little bit around Shaq. But I think he does make the window because Gumdo did a little bit, did use a lot of the rushes. So, let's try and go for the dashes around and. I think might be able to get attack here, but Strax playing this beautifully, and he goes for the corner tech into basement or something, and that's just gonna give enough time for Sen to pop the last gen, I believe.
Yeah, the good part about this is that as we do see Strack try and go for the window tech, now but all the survivor sides, all 8 that we've seen play so far are playing very very crazy, and it should be a good set of matches to come for the rest of them. Now we saw Sen clutch up to get that 4K one. Now we do know G Money is not. This is a very very uncharacteristic performance from G Money. I'm sure this is going to make his next killer performance. Whether it's the Oni, whether it's the Dark, whatever. I'm sure Alex will play the Dark Lord, but whatever the next killer he steps up to play tonight, which he definitely will, looking from the pick and bans that they do have, I'm sure this will make him play a bit better. He would be very not happy with himself, so this is always a good thing. So it should be a good set of games. I'm still expecting a tiebreaker, even with this game, the way things played out. Another thing as well, Zetsuobou really needs some credit for the way they played on Survivor as well. That was really, really insane chases. I'm not sure what the fuck that was, but yeah, that chase from Sen at the start was juicy. Bro, that Takara chase was Mickey as well. Like that was just those were some nice plays all around. And honestly, Tav, that yeah, if they're gonna be playing like that all night, then G Money and the rest of Resurrection have their work cut out for them.
I mean, seeing this Blight set go so convincingly, I mean, I would say Resurrection do have a crap ton to do, even though I believe they played a really really nice Survivor set in the previous trial. But Jack's gonna go down. I think that's just gonna be a 4-stage secured for Gunther. So lowest performance, but it's not like he could have played for a win, I believe. So yeah, I mean, first set going towards uh Zetsubo and then a Dark Lord, which probably will be X-Stap. I would be pretty worried if I were on a Resurrection side. So I guess we'll be going to a short intermission. We'll have to find out whether it's going to be like Baki or Sen's Dark Lord, or whether it will be X-Stap's Dark Lord, of course, because Zetsubo do have that little bit of freedom there. So we'll find out about that in a little bit, because we'll need to. Oh wait, hold on, no, it's Alex Dark Lord, right? My bad, because Resurrection's first. All right, Alex, Alex Darklord will be right back after a short intermission.
And welcome back to what will be quite an uphill battle for Resurrection after probably the morale that they had to now have to face after that blast set. That was really creamy chases from the bros last last set. My bad for using the word creamy, but yeah, no, as you said, Ty, we do have the Dark Lord, Alex on the Dark Lord, so we are going to see. Probably, I would honestly say Resurrection's more renowned killer. He's been there longer. He's been more consistent than G Money there. At least in my opinion. I mean, I only say that because I got like 4K 3 by this guy's Billy like a year or two, like a year and a half ago. But nah, yeah, honestly, Tav, I might have to go let the dog out to take a piss, bro. So if you want to take this one over for like 5 minutes, I'll be back.
Oh, good, bro. Alex just gonna get a potential 2-tap coming in, but Zen's gonna just be able to make the run past the track pallet, and Alex is just going for the dog tags coming in, and Zen actually does make the pallet. Really, really nice pathing coming in for the first chase. Yet again, Zen taking that responsibility and not letting anyone on his team down. This is, again, a very, very nice first chase coming in. It wins the 50s, but Alex does have the patience here. Does wait out the live, but maybe gets a pallet. But no! Sen makes a pallet even through the pain, and Alex is going to be breaking it and continuing this chase. I think Sen gets Shaq as well after this, so Alex just decides to leave this and try and find someone else. As he did find someone around this generator. It's going to be Strack, the player, I believe, on the last ping in this current stop in this current lobby, but he's going to take the Jiggy around and get the dodge, and Alex is going to force be breaking this second pallet. So already this first down is taking a considerable amount longer than I believe like most other Dark Lord sets. Already approaching the 90-second mark, and getting another survivor. I believe this is going to be the potential uh, Delhi survivor 2 and chase, but Alex going to decide to commit this one potentially, but they've already made so much distance here on this bot side into this co-op. It's actually going to be Sen taking the next chase. Oh my gosh, this is the most wild, I think, set of first chases that we've been through, but does get the down finally onto Sen, picking this back up on this bot side and should be able to get a hook safely into the pop, of course, on the next generator. So, I'm seeing this Oast lineup though does mean that we'll be seeing an Oast killer in the next trial. So, Jams, if you could enlighten me, does Baki actually play Dracula? Otherwise, it might be Sen. Man.
Uh, I think it's gonna be Sen. It just seems like a killer that the bro might play. Uh, yeah, I don't see Baki playing killer at all tonight. I don't think, unless I'm super skitzing. I don't think Baki's gonna be playing killer at all. Oh no, he might play killer. Nah, yeah, I don't know. No, I doubt it. Yeah, I think Sen's just gonna play every killer tonight. We do have Dark Lord right as we go, as we speak, and then we got the Hillbilly Only Clown if it makes it to those. So who knows? We do see Batty Baki, speaking of the great man himself, enter Chase. Uh, very, very underrated survivor. I will say this every time I watch Baki play survivor. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Bad checkies. But yeah, he's very, very good survivor. Has played the game for a while. I think that stems a bit from him being really, like, very, very good at killer. I would say maybe maybe back in season 1 of OSL, he was definitely a top 3 killer in the league. Maybe even a bit before that as well. He was very good for a long time. He's been a bit quiet lately. Still able to perform. I'm not actually too sure what killer performances he's had this season. But enough about Baki. I'm sorry, I don't mean to glaze Baki. Baki's just a really good survivor. But yeah, no, we do see Alex finally getting a down onto, of course, the man himself. But he's kind of playing a bit territorial, Tav. I'm not sure why this is. We do see Delhi in the background, right in his face. So that is why he was sitting in front of the hook, I'm assuming, Tav.
I don't really know why the deliverance came into play so early here, but that could be pretty detrimental for survivors because that's pretty much.
Oh. Tavi's mic might be down, so I might have to pick up for the young Tav. But we do see Baki in the background copying it down as well. So that, yeah, I finish off what Tavi was probably going to say. I'm not too sure why the Delhi came in the bro's face like 5 seconds into the hook. That probably could be a bit of a throw from young Baki. But 2's got a lot of progress here, mid 2. 3's got a lot of progress, and Baki's sort of got hooked mid 2 here. Oh, he might have delied early because he got hooked on top of gens, maybe. That could be an option, maybe, that I might not have considered. Still, very early into the hook stage. Very, very interesting decision still to be made on the fly. We do see Alex just sort of sitting in the middle of everything here, which is definitely the play you'd have to go for. Does have that Wretched Fate sitting down like the one side, you know, sort of on top of everything. So I'd say with Stract being one of the 2 people that is actually on gens right now, I would say that this is a box seat position for Alex in terms of Dracula. Dracula doesn't really get crazy amounts of stages, although we've seen a couple 4K ones. I'd say in a setting like this, when you have the toppest dogs, the biggest dogs, I think like 7 or 8 stages is what you need, as we just see the turn young Blicky Stract hold that, my boy. Jesus Christ. Does hit him, and that's going to be Baki dead because of that, because Stract's not going to be able to trade. That is actually quite a game-changing play from Alex. Now, think about it. I don't think both of these gens pop. He is going to opt to go down to 3 onto the crane now. He must kick this. He's going to use the third-person camera from the wolf form to try and find Tiff. Good stealthing from Tiff there. She's been playing really, really well today. That needs to be mentioned. As is all of Zetsuobou, Senori playing amazing as well. Baki, tunnel out at 3, not really what you want to see, I guess, maybe, but, you know, did his best, I'm assuming, and Alex is playing mechanically crazy. We are having a geese around for Tiff. We do find her on the edge map there, so premature Caster's Curse, praising her for pre-leaving and stealthing, but might be able to have a juice to chase up here 12. We do only have the matchstick. She's able to hold her chase down here at the match. He's going to opt to play these fillers here. Does sort of get caught out there, so a bit unlucky. Does get the double eruption proc onto what is the 2 and the 3 gen. Um, and I'm assuming now that we did see a gen popping there back. I'm not sure if that was 2 gens or 1 gen. I'm skitzing. I've been stream muted. My bad. But we're at 1 gen essentially, and with Wretched Fate being a player that still sort of has to be active and still has to progress the gens. I think this is not a bad spot for Alex, especially if he can find a chase onto Sen pretty abruptly. Sen's around that. Shack is at the shack as well. We do kick the shack filler. I'm not sure what Alex's gens are. We have, oh my god, we have 2-3 shacks, so literally can see. I think this is actually genuinely 1 blink range for Nurse. Which is funny if you think about Nurse being on Wreckers as it was supposed to be before she got kill switch. But I'm not too sure if Tavi's back. I'll give him like half a second
Yeah,
to say something if he is. Oh, hey Tavi, how you going, buddy?
I said something. Yeah, I'm good. My laptop crashed or something. So that's the new meta I think in the casting is to let the laptop crash and rejoin. But anyway, I saw Baki's early pull. I was casting, then I died and came back, and I saw him die at 3 gens, and now there's 1 left. So I'm really impressed that Zetsuobou managed to convert the tunnel out. I think from that into, you know, 2 gens popping for that. Actually, 3 gens if I'm counting correctly, because it was like 4-1. But actually, Alexandre's just gonna go into the tippity tap onto Sen. So he's just forcing this early on hook and actually decide to slug this, trying to trust the game senses to convert this down into Sen into potentially something else. Does find Stract around here, no spin burst available, so that's gonna be a tag coming in. But he has a medkit, so either he has like some kind of anti-tunnel or some well, he can't be deliverance, right? Because that was Baki. So he's got the anti-tunnel, and I think Alexandre might know this, but he's just going back and trying to hold the down and the survivors in place in this spot. But this is a kind of like panic time coming in from our survivors, because I thought they were in pretty alright spot until I saw the gens, and then I thought, yeah, okay, this is kind of not doable. But they have to really play this set from now on extremely slowly, because one kind of like mistake coming in, and that could just, again, like the blind side, that could just collapse all the way down. As Alexandre actually does go commit for the pickup of Descent. It is not, luckily for survivors, it is on the opposite side of the map, so they did do a good job of forcing that down here. But it's just going to be, I think, Alexandre leaving. He doesn't really care too much for this hook. And yeah, just look at this. Just back onto Gen Patrol, and Strack should be forced off this Crane Gen without really that much to say for it, apart from some progress. And gonna make it all the way towards his bot side, but only has this filler to play. Of course, it is Strack though, so this is a completely safe filler. But he's gonna hold W away, gets that Jiggy as well. I mean, that's why he's, of course, the one playing the dangerous Bill over Backfit. But yeah, that's a really good conversion from Strack then. He should have definitely gone down there. And that's just huge, because yeah, it allows this reset to potentially come off onto Tiff, who I believe is Taka. So yeah, Alexandre, I don't think he got what he wanted out of this interaction, Jumps.
Yeah, nah. It's still a good result nonetheless. I think he's still in the box seat to 4K, 4K1 here, which is still honestly not a bad result. For Dracula in general. I know some people shit on the Dracula's balancing, but honestly, it's not that bad. We do see Strack going down there as well. Beautiful mechanical ability from Alex onto Strack, converting with the 2 dog dashes. But yeah, I don't know, Tavi. I don't think this 3 gen is very breakable, bro. Now that the bro is hooked dead center in the middle, I think it's just time to chop it up, real shit. I don't know how you break this.
I don't really know either, because we had a quick look at the perks there and quick look at the hook stages. Everyone's on death hook except Strack, and Strack's the one with dead hard, so there's pretty much no way our survivors can go in for a trade without one of them dying. So they just have to play and try their best to work the gens really slowly. And Sen actually gets a pull for the Pop Goes the Weasel, so this is exactly what they needed. But I'm not sure if it's really enough. But Shaq's taking the aggro away from Sen, which does make sense. He's of course their dead hard and the one who's not Death Hook. So yeah, it's gonna give them a little bit more time to potentially get something done. They're trying to double the Shaq, but I think Tarkwa is just gonna get a little bit of an M2 zone coming in, and yeah, there's not really much they can do about it because you know they're just too close to the Dracula, and Sen's gonna be forced to work Shaq as actually is that unbreakable? That's unbreakable on Shaq. Okay, they pick themselves up, and that's huge because now he can do the split pressure. Maybe Tarkwa's chase can last for a bit longer, but just to say that they go down. So Alex, I think with this kill being secured, pretty much should wrap up the trial because 4K1 with one gen left in this 2-3 and Shaq split, which is again very very stupid, honestly. But with this split, I really don't know if it's let's just say in a word possible to break it. But again, Shaq is dead hard and he does pull it off here, so that's a nice little dead hard to continue the chase, and he does go for a
What's 50?
sensational run, no pun intended. Then it could be work up to be something really really good here. Goes around the back, and I don't think he makes anything, so he should be down here, and Sen gonna be the last survivor standing. He's actually committing Shaq. Oh my god, it's got so much progress, 75%. I'm surprised myself, but again, it's just I believe not enough. So yeah, he does find Sen's splash marks to see the ace feet, and that is, I believe, going to wrap things up finally.
Yeah, 4K1 from Alex. Very, very good result. The survivors are actually playing very, very well. I'm not sure how he did that. Yeah, they played very, very well. All things considered. Kind of didn't attack the Deja gens, maybe as we should have. But honestly, no. Well played to Alex. Well played to Zetsuobou. That was a really, really hard fought set to watch. Both sets we watched really, really hard fought. But with that wrapping up the trial, Tavi, I do believe it will be Sen's Dracula. I don't really think I've seen the Bros Dracula. I haven't seen anyone from Zetsuobou really don the Dracula. So if I was a betting man, it looks a bit more in Resurrection's favor this set. But again, I would have said that last set as well until the survivors played crazy. But we'll go into a very, very brief intermission and we will come back with whoever's Dracula it is after. And welcome back. OSL. We are going to see, I believe, I didn't actually see who it was when we were loading into Harvey, I'm sorry. But we are going to see Zetsuobou's killer, which I'm thinking is going to be Sen, try and accomplish a 4K2 here to try and get himself the 2-0 sort of victory here going. And honestly, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see if he can actually do it. I think Dracula's not, I mean, it's pretty obvious it's not a 4K-ish killer. But we do see Backy. So honestly, anything goes now, Tar, because I'm not too sure if Backy knows how to play Dracula. Obviously he does if he's playing it, but the skill ceiling in terms, I don't know how high it goes. So we could see some pretty nutty stuff from the big Backy here.
Yeah, Backy Wacky's actually exceeded a lot of my expectations. I just thought, I just thought he played Nurse Spirit and like what was it? And there was another killer. I think Unknown, right? For Too Savage, if that's a name that rings a bell for anyone out there in previous seasons. But yeah, now he just picked up Clown, now he's picked up Dracula, and now he's probably gonna pick up Skull Merchant too. So you never know what he could do, and he's gonna get maybe a 2-tap coming in onto Raven, but it's just going to be a Hellfire. Little bit of fake coming in on this top side. So Raven's gonna buy themselves a bit more time, but it's already a fairly early injury, and could spell a little bit of trouble here for Resurrection, because the first thing they need, I think, in Dracula's head, not to get 4K'd, is a good start, and that's not what's going on here. Raven's gonna take the vault over the Paladin, and that's their down coming in way earlier than the previous trial. So if Backy can 4K, this is definitely the start he needs, but it's already the double gen approaching 100%, so I don't know if he actually might be aware that that gen is progress. It's going to be really, really close, I think, but they are leaving it already, so I think they might have to give this up, as that first hook does come in. Mr. Kervin's working in Gen 2, it's around 50%, but that's a huge amount of pop value coming in. Pop Eruption and Call of Blind. Not a combo that I thought I would personally see after Cobb was nerfed, but hey, jumps, balancing, time changes, and yeah, we're back in like the 2023 era.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's not really much to work with in terms of killer. I see both Baki and Sen have now opted to use Call of Brian, so that buff that it got during the last patch, obviously a lot stronger than I thought, Tav. We do see a triple split of the gens, so we are gonna let Raven probably even go second here, maybe, or maybe the bloke off two maybe rotates in and comes for a pull. But Sen's just sort of playing very, very close around, yeah, very literally very, very close around. Looking deep six now even, and I think we're going to see Raven, not Raven, sorry, Alex, or G Money even try and come in. Does able to jiggy that Hellfire, so that's actually the first step to the plan. He has to get around the killer now and get the pull going. Does take the tag, and we aren't going to hit seconds. I'm not sure why sending back he didn't continue to body block there. Very interesting.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure either. I feel like that would have been successful, but maybe I was a bit worried about the angle there, and that's fair. At least secure the trade rather than try and screw it up and get even a worse position than was previous. But Baki's actually gonna take the bat form away from this shack area and just apply a quick little pop of option cob to the. I believe that was a 2-gen or 11-gen. So we're gonna resume onto Raven though after that little bit of a nice kick, and it's continues to tunnel out, I guess, and there could be someone nearby to take a potential pound save or body block, but it seems like Raven's gonna be taking the pathing outside, and Baki knows. Oh my gosh, that was a beautiful hellfire. I didn't even know that was possible, but just manages to find the angle like a Wesker skinny bird and just gets the down way through that, and that's put a spanner in the works of Resurrection's plan here, because now there's going to be 2 generators on this top side getting aggressive, and that's a huge deal. Actually, one of them's going to pop, but Kervin, okay, he does pop in his face, okay, but that's still, yeah, now that high progress gen on the top side going to be regressing towards 0, and okay, Baki does miss that though, and that's a good sign for a survivor, but it's going to be an M1 anyway, and things actually could be looking a little bit bad here for Resurrection because of that that death loco from Nancy, and they're already like dying on hook charms. I swear they were hooked like 5 seconds ago, and suddenly they're like 10 seconds away from dying, and Baki gets this down too. We know this is not unbreakable, and someone has to come in right now to get an FTP going in on the survivor to potentially delay this tunnel, and it is potentially going to be the case. What the hell? Okay, maybe not, but yeah, they still have not popped the second generator of the trial yet, and I'm not entirely sure if they can meet a 4K1 in this spot, because we need a really, really shockingly good chase from Raven here. I don't want to live.
Yeah, Baki's actually playing really, really well. We do need a good chase from Raven, like you said. We do see a survivor trying to maybe come take a body block. Oh, missed right onto Raven there. He's going to camp this pallet. Gets the stun onto Baki too, so well played. He's just going to go into bats, hover over that fat filler there, and just continue to chase onto Raven. We'd see a body block here from Alex. Even Baki's going to take a little bit more time here to pull up the power, pull it back down, get the M1. So Raven's going to even be able to make even more distance. We see a FTP onto Raven now, and Alex is going to have to take the down. I believe Alex will be the deli player too, if I'm not mistaken. No, he doesn't have the deli on him. Very, very interesting. But yeah, we need to start speeding up the gen progress a little bit. We are playing for that 4K 2 on Baki's side, 4K 0 if you're the survivors, I believe. Are going to get a tag onto Raven here. They are really doing a really good job trying to keep Raven alive. Now, he's got a jiggy back, and Raven's chase is going on a little bit longer than maybe Baki would like. And we do see a blood slope in the background, and he's going to get tagged over that. Maybe a bit of a ping hit, Tavi.
Regardless of the ping, that's Raven dying at 3 gens remaining, and this is a similar position to what Alexandre was in the previous trial, but they have 2 injuries on the board. They pretty much have to reset them because they can't be working gens against Dracula unless they like pre-stealth or something, but I feel like if you're pre-stealthing, you're wasting a lot of time. So they kind of do need to get the resets going on, and Baki can secure themselves a couple of eruption and cob blocks. Even though Gunther's like this gen in the background, I'm not entirely sure, because I could definitely try and interrupt it, but he's actually opting to go towards this 11 tile. And I believe we did have the injured here. It is going to be Clonet. Alexandre taking the next chase, and Gunther should be able to get that third generator of the trial done for this. So, can maybe potentially see another gen down on top of this, but it's still a little bit shaky, I'd say, because it's not like guaranteed that this gen setup is breakable. Yeah, look at that. It's relatively strong 3 gen like in the previous trial. So yeah, Resurrection will have to try and attack this the best they can. Um, it's gonna be tough, is what I know for sure. But with this hook in pretty much the center of it, it's gonna spell a little bit more of trouble for Resurrection, I think. And yeah, we can see them already pre-stealthing, so they already know that the gen split is pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, we are at that win condition now, or yeah, that win condition. So we are gonna have to play a little bit more. I don't know if defensive is the right word, but we are gonna have to turn it up a little bit. Honestly, though, the survivors aren't playing too bad. It was a long stretch to keep Raven alive, and I don't know the gens. Yeah, they're pretty bad. I'll be completely honest. They are pretty bad, Tavi. But with Alex being hooked in the middle of them, it does give Baki the freedom to sort of just sit here and do whatever he wants and look over the beautiful view. We do see a Deliverance, I believe, in the background onto Alex, which I'm shocked that he is Deliverance. I did not think he was. Unless my eyes have deceived me, which they could have. Honestly, though, Tavi, yeah, very, very well played. As long as this chase lasts, which I don't think it is going to, we do able to get some gem pressure going. Not able to make the edge filler either, so a bit unlucky, Tav, but I don't know. It could go either way right now, bro. They are double splitting, which is a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be the same hook coming in. Actually, Baki's gonna be able to drag this slightly further up into the 3 gen and force away Kevin, but Gunther's got some progress on Shaq too, and Kevin's looking to play for the unhook on this edge map, but Baki, now I think about it, yeah, that gen is showing a bit of signs of what do you call it? Resistance from the gen kicks, and Gunther's gonna actually just be taking that health out of the back. I think that's a 2-tap coming onto Gunther. I don't think they have anything here, and just be going down. I think, was that dead hard? I don't know what the hell that was, but I don't think I think that was dead hard because he just went onto the ground like that, and it's gonna be a slug as well. And Baki, he's out for blood. Needs to find someone. Needs to try and convert on this slug because I believe Gunther can still pick themselves up with the Unbreakable, and it's not finding anyone just as you get kicks a generator, but we're running out of kicks here. And I think this is our healthy ace taking the next chase. Of course, he has sprint burst, but he still has safety around here. Gunther picks himself up. Alexandre is nowhere to be seen. No, there's scratch marks here. He's somewhere around here. Baki picks up on it. Maybe gets a hellfire through the window. Alexandre sends it, but doesn't make it. So he's going down. And it's going to be the death coming in. And I don't think the generator pops in time. Even if they double. Look at that. It's only on 40%. So I think Baki might be able to walk away with the 4K2 here. Because with the bats form, he should be able to interrupt the generator. And then 2v1, what are you going to do? They're already committed to the generator, and I don't think they can get it done. They're already pre-leaving, but I don't think that's enough, Gunther. You need to make more distance than that, and I think you're just going the dead hard, but it's near the generator, so can't really be worked anyway. So I think somehow Baki just secures a 4K2, and that's gonna set Zetsuobou 2 up to nothing in this best of 5, which is pretty scary if you're on the side of Resurrection. I thought things were doing pretty well for them, but damn, somehow Zetsuobou's killer send him back. He just, oh no, they're just showing up.
Yeah, I mean, again, Tavi, like the fact that they're gonna take this set away as well is very, very interesting, and Baki needs to be commended for this result. Like, this is gonna be 2-0 to the side of Zetsubo. It's actually unbelievable that he's actually been able to do this. Honestly, well played to Baki. Resurrection probably a bit shitty with themselves at the moment, and I understand you are versing quite a top tier team. Welcome back to what has been a very interesting set of games so far. We saw Baki able to 4K2, which is actually quite a massive result to pull up against Resurrection, quite a decent survivor side as well. Ascent 4K wanting as well, pretty interesting. We've seen Alex 4K one. We saw G Money get a pretty bit of a lackluster result, but all that behind us, if we go into this game thinking about it, it is 2-0 to Zetsuobou right now. But I don't think Resurrection would be thinking like that. I think they would try and lock in. I do believe the Hillbilly is a set that Alex will be playing on Killer. So we're gonna have to see the big man Sen perform. He's not actually the worst Hillbilly. He's actually quite decent at the Hillbilly. And I'm not too sure how the survivors will go against the Billy. I don't. Yeah, I had a couple of chats with G Money. I don't think Billy's one of their strongest sets, but I'm hoping they can perform. Tavi.
Yeah, I mean, I believe Resurrection are fairly familiar with the Hillbilly. I've definitely seen and casted and watched them play quite a lot of Billy sets, so they definitely know what they're doing. It's just can they pull it off against Sen? And Sen, I think is again like showing off a lot of mechanical skill on a lot more the 1v1 killers and taking them into the 4v1 with a lot of extra confidence, which he has. And resuming the chase onto Alexandre, though, Alexandre is having a pretty wonderful first chase coming off of it, and he's gonna fail the feathering just for a little bit. And Alexandre is gonna be playing this solo, but I don't think it's the safest, and Alexandre does kind of know this, so he's forced away this little bit of truck, and yeah, he's playing this beautifully, I guess, and forcing Sen to a little bit of blunder, taking the TL instead, and oof, this is a bit of a rough start here for Sen, and definitely if Resurrection were to make a comeback, this would be a very good spot to do so, because Alexandre is just showing off beautiful, beautiful knowledge of the Hillbilly looping coming into this trial, and Sen's actually playing this fairly patiently, going for the flicker, and Alexandre falls for it. That's the double back coming into play, but there really was, I think with ping, there really is a much a more difficult task playing loops like that, which is why you could see Alexandre like skipping from one little bit of junk to the other to try and avoid it. But that's first hook coming in fairly late into the trial, as I would say, and Ruin's already gone, so I'd say survivors could definitely look at getting decent results here, but Sen's still, of course, he's not out of the game. He's setting the win condition, so I think he just needs to keep the confidence up, needs to try keep on applying pressure around the map, force the tunnel out early, of course, and then work from there. Because you saw on the Blight side, he was in a bit of a predicament, not being able to find a lot of players, and then he managed to capitalize after finding like one survivor, Gunfire, then just managed to collapse the entire thing into a 4 kill. So yeah, I think definitely 3v1 is where to make a play, but I'm just yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried because if he makes like one big macro mistake right now, it could be a big blunder for that to move. But no, he's holding the hook, which is the correct thing to do. So might allow Gen to pop, but it's definitely less important than the tunnel out charms.
Yeah, I mean we do.
Oh,
Catch
what?
out Curvin there. We do miss the chaser as well. I'm not too sure what was going on there. He's not able to actually trade either of that. So honestly, Tavi, this is looking quite interesting. Yeah, this chase might have to last a little bit longer than expected. We do see Kevin looping there, 11. Yeah, he's going to go down. And honestly, Tavi, I don't know how we've jiggied that. I'll be completely honest with you, bro.
This is what I was talking about with Sen. This is why I was sort of worried about him, because he's got exceptional 1v1 skills, but then sometimes when it comes to the 4v1, you could see him just go for like small overcommitment, and then just that one mistake, not being able to secure the down onto our Delhi player who literally just walked into the open. Now allows Alexandre to work with a Shack Power, maybe a little bit of extra RNG, but the Boozle might be able to cut him off from a lot of resources. Goes for the flick around, Gunther takes it down with the no mitter, and Sen does not care at all. Leaves Gunther on the ground to try and continue his tunnel out onto Alexandre again. We don't know what perks he has. I know he has Light, actually. I think it is the Deliverance, Survivor, and Chase, and that's Light being used, but Gunther's going to pick himself up. There's more gens being worked on in the background. Alexandre's still got a lot of distance around here. Makes this with the crouch check, and Sen is again going to be using the Sen movement as Symmetry XZ did clip a while ago, and he goes for the sword round, but Alexandre again, very good awareness, kind of knows maybe how Sen was going to play there, predicting he was going to go for the mind games, goes for the leaving of the tile, and he's going to go down here, but that's still a very nice chase coming through, a bit of lag coming from Spectator as well, but Gunther's already here, playing for the aggressive pickup, forcing again no middle to force the killer to commit for potential down coming in. Maybe you can see a power save for someone else, but Ravens come in last second to play for something here. Could be something amazing as he sits behind the pallet, but Sen is sort of aware of this. Goes to pick up. Ravens here for the power save. Does he hit it? He gets a power save. Oh my god, this is insane.
They are doing their dearest to keep the big fella alive here, and honestly, they're doing a damn good job. This is they're gonna be able to take the. Oh my God, Alex with the nuts of steel.
No way.
Just gonna greed past that, and they're doing their best to keep him alive, as I said. And he is gonna go down around the car, around the crane, I should say. Sorry, and my God. Eat your heart out, Alex. That was a beautiful chase. We did see 9 in the background pop Tavi as well, and we will see a 3v1 at 2 gens, which isn't the worst case scenario, all things considered, bro, to be honest with you. 1 gen, I should say,
Oh.
so.
Hoppa. Not the worst thing considered, and then suddenly a generator pops in our faces. Damn, and that's a BL2 being worked here, and Sen doesn't get a saw through the window. Okay, Sen ping. Unfortunately, they're kind of backfired. I don't know if this is completely holdable from Sen's position because the gens are fairly split across the map, but it is still a hillbilly, so it could definitely work with something here on this bot side. But our survivors really didn't expend too many resources, I think, to keep Alex alive for that long, and they still have like health states to work with. They have the deli, dead. Okay, the deli dead. But that means they still have unbreakable left in the trial, and like these resources will come in useful later on. So I'm kind of excited to see how this plays out because again, Resurrection have put themselves into a very solid spot here in this League one, and they just need to play perfect. And Gunther is just gonna go down here, Sen gets the angle around, and that's a really fast down, I think, from this, and he gets the hook in the 3 gen, so Oopa, things are maybe starting to get a bit out of hand. That's my prediction.
Um, I'm not really too sure what the gen progress is, I apologize. I haven't been too tapped in, but I think G-Money's going to get pulled very early into the trial. We see, sorry, very early into the hook stage, I should say. We see Raven able to make that cut and make main there. Cinery choosing to opt. He's gonna lead the chase instead. Does have, as you said, 5, mid 6, and Shack. So pretty holdable gens. Does actually see Raven, or I believe that was Curvin actually down here at the 5 tile, just trying to stealth. Honestly, yeah, that dev spot would be probably at very top side Tavi. I don't know. With the way you saw Sen play the Blight game, bro, it's going to be very hard to even be able to break this without him overcommitting. He's a pretty good killer, man. I don't think we'll see him overcommit at all. To be honest, yeah, that slug very optimal from Sen coming in as well. So just going to go straight to Shaq, and yeah, it's hard to imagine them being able to do anything in this scenario, even though it does look like Sen's back is against the wall, proverbially, of course, in a sense. But honestly, I with the way he's been playing tonight, I wouldn't be shocked if he 4K wants this.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, but that kind of leaves a ball in Resurrection's call. Like, can Alex get the full K1? And that could be a bit of a concern again, coming into the side of Resurrection, because there's always that like mental factor coming in, and like every mistake. I know that like every killer here, I think, is like feeling like every single mistake that comes in, but some players cope with it better than others, and sometimes that's all that matters at the end of the day is just like coping mechanisms with the psychological factor. And Gunner's gonna go down. I don't think they had dead hard, so that's just gonna be another hook. He's gonna be on death hook on the middle, and Sen still I think can afford to commit for a time because the Dens just don't have enough progress, and I it's hard for Resurrection for sure, but I'm not really sure what they could have done better. Maybe if Gunther didn't get tapped in the open, but then at the same time, if he didn't get chainsaw down, then Sen would also could just cancel and then M1 because there's no pallet safety around. So that's another sort of problem against the hillbillies, that if you commit the heal, you get saw down. Then what was the point? But then if you don't get healed, and then there was resources and you get M1 down, then well, that's also not necessarily a great option either. But I mean, this gens are just going to be held by Sen, and Gunther's going to probably just down hook, leaving in the 2v1. And I'm not entirely sure what Resurrection's plan is because heading into the next trial now, Alex would probably have to get a 4K one, and no, no. You cannot allow this to happen, right? No way.
Oh
Oh,
my
okay.
God.
Well, I guess they tried, and like I was pretty much the only play, I guess, to stop the kill from happening. But now they head into this 2v1, and I don't see Resurrection getting out of this with another generator.
Yeah, I mean, it's just well played, Basta, he's really a couple of blunders from both survivor sides, not really doing the Daisha gens on a couple of sets tonight. Really tight three gens. Honestly, we're gonna get straight into chase with Raven. If Raven can last 50 seconds, it's doable. Does Chicky that chainsaw? I don't think
Oh
Sen's gonna
fuck.
commit for 50 seconds long without getting it down though.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Gonna say like maybe he tries to ego chase Raven with the bounce landing, but I think Sen knows that the BL's in play, so I'm just gonna leave that, try and find out the next survival. But I guess there's really cat out curve in here on this edge map, so it should just be a down coming in. Does he even bam the Z wall? He does. Okay, that is a yeah, okay, it's a decision, but it's gonna result in the down. That's really what that matters. So, Kevin's gonna go down, and of course he already used Deli, so Sam can afford to hook this if he, of course, chooses to do so. But he's actually opting to slug. Wants to play for that guaranteed 12 stages and wait for the second down onto Raven. But I guess at the moment Raven's of course stealthing, so won't be found as of yet. And then I think he might just decide to head back and. Just by checking chat first though, making sure that's still addressing for doing so. Of course, maybe Raven could have snapped out the generator there, but that's not going to be the case. So Sen does complete his tour around the Blood Lodge, return back, and probably will get his hook. So I have a slight feeling on the side of Alex that because Sen I feel like he definitely could have played for slightly more, but then he missed a saw onto near here in that beginning, so that was just like huge mistake coming through, and this still resulted in a 4K one. So I, if Alex can pull off like something similar and get like fairly alright first down, then just make absolutely zero mistakes, then we could see 4K one potential come through, which would push it to Oni, but still 4K one is like on the side of Sen with the mistake, still amazing result. Raven's actually here for the unhook though, so maybe something could happen here because he's actually checking lockers around Shack and kind of wasting a little bit of time, but he's just gonna secure the death, I think, because it's so close to hatch. He can just secure hatch closing in Raven's face. So Raven's gonna make a move now, though. This is the opportunity that I was looking for, and he could get the unhook and try and get something happen here. But again, the generators are probably at 0 now, so it's still probably gonna be 4K1. Raven's gonna essentially take chase. He goes to the window fake and Sen probably uses the 1v1 to try and cover around, but that's not actually wide enough from Sen. Should have taken it just a slight bit wider. So he's gonna close off the window potentially and see the chase onto Raven. But okay, Raven's taking the outside walls, utilizing the walls to the best of his ability. But again, should go down here. There's no power. There is a vault though. Should make it, but it doesn't take it. So that's just gonna be a down. Kevin's the last one alive, and this still coming in. Again, things kind of wrap it up. So
Yeah, well said, Tav. Yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. The best case scenario, I think, if we're being realistic about it, is Alex tying on the Billy 4K1 and 4K2 on the Billy, even for the best of the Hillbillies. It's just 4K2 on, and he said is not the play. I'm not too sure if he would do it to this Tyler, but I'm not sure if Curvin or Raven was the fresh one, actually. I apologize. So, yeah, I think, yeah, 4K1. It's a bit perplexing, to be honest. You feel like in two of these games, maybe Resurrection shoulda, coulda, outed and didn't, which is probably a testament to Sen uh, on those respective sets. I don't see Alex pulling the 4K2 out. Like I said, I'll be completely honest. I think he'll have to play for that Tycon and we'll go on to the Oni set, and that might be Resurrection's way back in. Obviously, if things go the way they did last week for Resurrection on the Oni. But yeah, Tavi, I don't know. Very, very perplexing indeed is the word I'd go for.
I feel like definitely in this Billy set, I think the survivors did go for a fairly big commitment to keep Alex alive, which is maybe why the bot gens didn't pop as quickly as they could have. But I mean, at the end of the day, if they didn't, then Alex would have died, and then it wouldn't have been a 4K one most likely anyway. It would have been hard to get out of that. So that was just gonna be Edge Map and Sen's actually picking up on this, so that might just end the trial right here. So. I apart from that though, I think in the other Blight set, I just think that collapse that happened was not really, um, not really avoidable. I think so. It's just like the stealth gets found, and usually when stealth gets found, it's not a good look for the survivor side. But Alex is gonna try and make a window, and not gonna make it unfortunately. But nice little attempt there to delay the last down. So. Yeah, 4K1 and Billy. Of course, Zetsuobou have got a solid survivor side. They're going to have Stract, of course. So Mr. Stract is probably a one-man army on his own. But I guess we'll have to take a bit of a geese after an intermission because this is, I guess, the critical set for Resurrection. They need to take this, otherwise Zetsuobou will just secure this one in the grand final. So we'll be back after the intermission. Maybe Alex can pull 4K1. Maybe he can get a 4K2 and surprise all of us, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So we'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody, to the second half of our third set, the Hillbilly. So we just saw Sen get a 4K1, and since Zetsubo are up 2-0, Resurrection, this has to be their critical set tonight. And yeah, in the best of five, of course, if Zetsubo do take another set, they would move on to the grand finals, taking, well, 3 sets in the set of 5. So anyway, if you've done the math, you know. Actually, well, it's just me being me, so. Yeah, so now Alex has to 4K1 to try and tie things up. Hopefully we don't see some kind of penalty come up for Zetsugo, because that could actually ruin a couple of their chances, I would say. But no, it seems like everything is all right here on the match end. So Alexandre loads in and needs to get this 4K1 pretty much ASAP. He does head the chainsaw up the map. Does see a crow fly off around this one side. Mr. Sen is going to be caught out on this little bit of dumpster filler and forces chase onto a filler pallet instead. He does drop it, try and make his way towards main, but I think the blue soul is going to be coming in soon, and he doesn't have that much safety to work with. Tries to go jiggy around, doesn't make the window, just taking some nice palming. His net is too good somehow, and Alexandre is going to force an M1 onto him instead to make some distance, I guess, and takes the ball, and doesn't get chainsaw down, so Alex actually take the injury away and tries to work his way up the map, try and get around and force a chase into someone else. It is Takwa taking the next chase as John's a goal tip. I'm not an OG, so I don't know them too well, but they are juicing up tonight. Gets a dodge onto the Billy. Alexandre took it a bit wide, and Takwa just kind of responded, well, I don't really care, and continues to chase around 11, forces the pallet down, and forces the break. Again, there's not really many resources left here. Chase does end, though, so Alexandre steps through the window and tries to force it back, so the back row onto a survivor, and they do have a lot to work with, but Alex is completely aware of it, so he's gonna get it down coming through. But that's a crash there coming in the middle of the open, like 2 meters away, and Takwa continues this chase. Maybe Bamboozle does wear off here. It's gonna be pretty close. I'm surprised I'm saying this, but Alex does get the chainsaw down finally onto Takwa and secures this first hook in the trial. So bit of a funny start, but he does get the down still fairly early into this, and potentially could think of securing this hill hook on 10 and just chainsawing away, but I'm not sure what the gens are looking like. I feel like they do have a good amount of progress, and Stract already finishing this first generator in the background. I think that was probably doubled, but yeah, that's a pretty great stuff from Zetsuobou. Secures the first gen, and also reset setup, the unhook setup, the other survivors on the generator, Sen of course, and I don't. Yeah, I think Alex should just play this patient, base camp the hook, and try and apply a bit of pressure if he can. But again, a bit of the nerves might come in because 4K1 is not an easy result. See the bird fly on the edge map. Oh no, that's not a good sign for the side of Zetsuobou, because now he knows that someone is here. Alex is committing this area, but yes, he's back on Delhi. So that's going to be forced away, and Alexandre is just going to get some free time to sit the hook, I guess.
I'm surprised Alex doesn't commit that for a little bit. even just for a little bit longer than what he did. I don't think anyone else was really set up for that pull. Probably could have baited someone in, probably prematurely revved back to the hook. But now we're forced to sort of camp Takara into through a second stage and does do that efficiently. We are going to see baddie backy here down at the one tile. Does the TNLs here, and it would be very, very. Oh no, we're opting to leave and go back to look. Predicting maybe a premature pull, but I think that pull is a little too early. Just going all the way to Shag actually instead, just opting to chase Sen. That is SB coming out from Big Senor. And he's just going to leave again. So Strax sort of just pushing the survivors off around. He's going to probably just confirm Tiff's full death, which honestly, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it, Tav.
I think I think he just has to at this point. Of course, it's a bit of like the gone too far scenario where like the survivors you camp them out enough that you pretty much either secure the death or if the pull comes in then it's just so terrible for the side of the killer. But I think Takwa on this hill hook doesn't really have a chance. Alex has got line sight everywhere. And even though these two gens pop, Alex can still potentially go for that win con of 4K1. Because, you know, Billy says can really get out of hand very quickly, and especially with the gen setup on the top side, Alex could definitely look towards securing something big here. It's not like the cleanest of gens, I guess, in terms of when you think of 4 gens, but in terms of 3 gens, definitely completely all was a hillbilly. As we do kind of work our way back, Takwa does down hook, and Alex is actually taking a bit of the edge map to try and find the stealth and rotation for survivors, but he's going to use this little and back, try and get a little bit more time to push the survivors off generators. And actually heads back towards the hook area and does catch out Sen, patiently waiting here on the generator. And he doesn't have anything to work with, but it is of course Sen. So as I say that, he heads to edge map, kind of seals his own fate here. And I think, yeah, Alex could definitely make something extremely good happen here, but he's taking the pick up onto Sen. So they're still fine, I guess. But I was maybe considering a slug coming up from Alexandre, but that's alright. He doesn't risk unbreakable at all. So yeah, it's now suddenly Zetsuobou are fighting to get another generator done, even though of course the generator does have a good amount of progress and did work it a lot. It's not done, and Resurrection's position previously, they were in a completely fine spot to play for that final generator. They had that 4th gen done, but now he actually finds someone here. Oh no, I think that was Strack silting around, and this could be huge amounts of trouble, especially on ping. Alexandre's playing this really, really patiently, trying to fake the souls, goes to the soul round, tries to get the down, but no, actually just head back to the hook, seeing that that soul doesn't connect, and Sen is going to potentially resume this time round. So, okay, it was backy stealthing, but still, it's just a bit of a precarious spot. Sen's back in chase. Probably has DS though, so he's fairly alright, I'd say, even though he probably gets M1. I don't know what to say though, because he does... he's still in the 3 gen, so I don't know how much distance he makes outside of it with this decisive strike, but it's being worked and he's actually getting slugged on the ground. Maybe Alexandre is getting some little bit of whispers in his ears to maybe slug sensing the obsession on him, and he's gonna force back away. But he's actually, is he headed to the wrong generator? I think maybe he's just left Takwa. So maybe Takwa, so Baki, I mean, maybe Baki does get this 5 gen down. That's the sound coming through, and suddenly Baki's the only one standing. Goes for the pick. No! Wait, hold on. Sen had Unbreakable, so he picks himself up, and I think that means Baki can get that final generator done for the tie condition. So, Zetsuobou will definitely tie it up here at the very minimum with that Unbreakable, but again, with Alexandre's spot with these slugs, I think that's just going to be 4K1 done and dusted, and Alexandre's done a very good job to pull this one back, because that could have been extremely bad for Resurrection, but I feel like that death on Takwa on that hill hook was kind of the sealed deal, and Sen going down edge map as well. So that, yeah, very nicely done from Alex. So it's definitely put up a very solid hillbillies performance here, Drums.
And as the chosen one predicted, it is going to be a 4K1 as I said before, which means the set will tie. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tavi. I think that means we go into Oni now, and we have to see if. Honestly, it comes down to G Money right here, right now. If they don't win this set, if they tie this set again, or they lose, if they don't win this next set, only of course, I just don't see it happening. you can kind of take this game away and be a bit, I think Alex is playing really well today. I think multiple survivors, as well as a couple of the killers on Zetsuobou are playing out of their mind. It's kind of just, can you step up if you're Resurrection? Can you, bite back? Not to be really cliche with it, but honestly, yeah, Tavi, I think they can. I don't want to count them out just yet. That's, not the right. Obviously, G Money proved last week. You count them out. That's the wrong decision to make. But it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot to perform against this team. And again, 4K1 and 4K2 respectively for Alex on his 2 killer performances. But he won't be playing Killer next. It will be G Money. So it all comes down to G Money, Tavi. So you know how his
It's
Oni gets down.
I mean, we know how Zoni goes, but Alexandre, he's trouble finding Stract, and we've all been counting first looks here, we are missing one, and that's, I believe, pretty decisive coming in, because that would force a penalty coming through, and Stract is just stealthing on the mid map, being down. So if Alexandre can't find him within the next 1.5 minutes, honestly, this might not go to an Oni set, It could just end right here on the Hillbilly. Alexandre securing a wonderful 4K1, but with that one special penalty. Sees the bird fly off, though. I think Strack's going to get picked up, and okay, we are going to an Oni set, so very unfortunate there, but that was fairly close still. Even at the end of the trial, there was still one small mistake that Alexandre, well, not really a mistake, but there's still one thing that could have been, which was a nice spectacle to watch, Gunther's aggressiveness on the no midder was something to take note of, especially for anyone out there who's going to take no midder into a Billy set. But yeah, Oni set I feel like Sen is more comfortable on because it's more clear cut. You just get the first tag and move from there. But of course, it's going to be G Money on the Oni instead. And G Money, Mr. Gunther is I'm I think my concern for him is he's shown that his macro is very on point. When I say very, I mean extremely on fucking point. Getting a 4K2 against Renewal twice.
What?
Okay, gets a tag onto Sen. Okay, Sen, that's unfortunate 50 loss there, but his macro is insane, and now with this insane start, I don't know if his micro needs to be any better here, because he's just gonna opt to leave and chase Spin Burst Baki around the bullshit tile, and yeah, Baki does make the Shack Pala, but he's leading him perhaps back into Sen. We can see Sen's little bit of blood there, but I gotta say, I'm a bit scared for Gunther's micro for the first one, but with Sen giving away that first V tag extremely early on, I am not entirely sure how this trial will play out. I think Gunther can secure something extremely good here, but he's actually committing onto Baki rather than getting blood from Sen. So this is the scenario I was kind of worried about, like not being able to convert on this M1, but he's at least potentially got some blood around the map to suck away from Sen. So yeah, the chase gonna play out. Baki's doing a nice job showing the problem with the stance on the side of Killer, but Gunther's still off to a pretty alright start here too.
Yeah, that was an early first tag. Gonna choose to zone back here at the style. So this will probably be the second hit because we do see the brutal strength in the arsenal of Gunther. Does lose Backy there, able to catch on again and does get that tag that I was alluding to. This should be power off that as well. It is. So might choose to go for the double M1 down here and camp the bro. I think he's opted. I think he's communicating to his team. He wants to pop power and go all the way down 9 side. Again, might opt to choose to do that with double M1 down Backy before he does pop that power. Again, with the amount of fillers that Backy's been able to use and drop, this yeah, it does have a lot of fillers, like you said, Tavi, and he's gonna probably end up going down on this 5 filler down over here after a very spectacular chase. So well done to Backy, eat your heart out. But yeah, Sen took that early tag. That sort of just said this sort of just sets up G Money now to hook on Pain Res. He's gonna be able to hook with power, probably be able to sort of force Backy to hit seconds, maybe even with power still active. Does choose to pop it in the background. I'm not sure what the play from G Money is here. I know he'll snap back to the hook at any time. He hasn't seen anyone, I don't think. So does see the footsteps out there. Does just somehow, I don't know if that was a flare or just the bros. Me and the bros would call that a lazy flick. But yeah, G Money, that's not what we need. That could have been the start to part two, the remix, Tavi, of the 4K3 we saw last week.
Bro, I don't know who protects this guy Shrek, but I swear he's like immune to like everything except like literally like a behind the back M1s, and Bracken's gonna grab the stun to the power too. Gabba doesn't really care though. He goes that brutal break and tries to continue the stun up, but that was a pretty big investment on to oh my gosh, loses 50 again, and that was a pretty big investment onto the double down of Baki with the M1, but he doesn't really mind too much, I guess, because he still gets this. But that's the power pretty much gone from Stract because he did commit that, and Back is gonna force a locker and try and force a basement as well. But I I think that definitely was in the survivor's favor because they pretty much just like got rid of a power for free. Um, I don't know, bro. Stract is like on like some special like on some special like I don't fucking know. He's just like protected by like maybe like the food he eats or like the drinks he drinks. It's like so stupid. But yeah, now Gunther has to try fight for this potential 4K. I think he does want to try 4K this to give as much safety as possible on the side of the survivor set. But at least he does find Strack here. I don't know how many others he has to work with. And Gunther's gonna just opt to leave, go back to the basement, tries to cut off potential survivor rescuing, and does actually find the scratch marks. So it's gonna be survivor hiding in basement, not giving away the M1 to Gunther, and scramble that did pay off. So Baki is gonna be on the last chase here around this bot side area as Gunther commits, of course. But yeah, this dam again might take a while. We haven't seen any pounds dropped around here, and as Baki heads towards this little bit of a jungle gym or like other weird filler tile, it is fairly safe. So I'm not sure how quickly Gunther will get this down. So he opts a break and gets power, but he's already popping it. There's another generator down drums. I think we could see the final one pop as well, but Mr. G-Man kind of need to pick something up. He's actually opting to leave. Trying to cut off Stract here, and Stract again, not gonna get found, so Stract MVP maybe? But regardless, now Gunther's pretty much lost the tunnel out, has lost nearly lost all the generators. Does find back again, but he's around the pallet, so Sen's gonna jiggy as well and makes a pallet too, so it's good safety from us survivors. And ooh, things could be going a little bit south for Gunther. He's not managed to find the down. Does commit to Baki again though, but we might see a generator pop. He goes down the pallet. I don't know, this tunnel seems really late jumps, but Sen's being found again. That's potentially a Eruption coming in, but the Sen aura forces Gunther to, you know, delay that down, and now suddenly maybe a survivor actually comes in to get a power save, but no, they're just sitting gen. So this trial is still really close because Gunther probably will get out of here, but it's still, oh man, it's still so close because the death's coming in too, and I don't know what to say.
I think that might be the turning point we need. I still think they'll out this. I think, yeah, I still 100% think they'll out this. That pain res coming in off Sen is huge, but now he has to pick the right gen. If he goes to Strax gen, which I think he will, he maybe gets a tag, maybe pushes Stract off. He needs to go right now. He's not showing any sense of urgency at all. He needs to sort of haul ass over there right this second, or this gen's gonna pop in his face. You know what? I think it fucking might actually pop in his face just because, yeah, as I said, there was no sense of urgency. Stract is gonna stick it. I don't fucking blame him either. A long lunge, that's gonna pop in his face, and G Money just, oh, it's just not his day, Tavi.
Damn, I mean such a fortune start for him. Gets an M1 to Sen, but then Sen aura, and then Gunther leaves, tries to get the tag onto Baki, and now Stract is kind of making everything fall apart. He's a fresh hook. He runs through again, wins the 50s, drops a pal on the right side. I don't know what the hell is going through Stract's mind to make such plays, but Gunther is, of course, losing everything here. He forces the fresh hook potentially onto this, which will maybe spell 7 stages. Stract's playing it really patient. That gives enough time for the gate to open. He tries to chain it into something else, but he's going down. Fat Shame doesn't come through, so Stract is going to be taking the down, securing 7 stages for Gunther, which, honestly, I think it got this, like, to be fair to Gunther, I think he's just happy to get Strack down because, like, this survivor is just so.
Other than maybe Wesker and Blight go get 7 stages, like you'd probably back him in to do it. 8 stages, that is. You'd probably you know, you'd probably, if you're a betting man, you'd put money on him doing it, and I'd probably do it too. Uh, just for the sake of competition, I hope he gets three staged. All respect to the big man. Um, but honestly, I think I believe I saw that was that SB come out Tavi off Raven. I thought you save SB for to make the Shack palette on this map, but I could be wrong, bro. Everyone plays it differently. I could be very wrong.
Yeah, and Raven's gonna be taking this chase
Oh,
man. It takes a very early M1 yet again, and send movement maybe coming out kind of much, but I guess like he does make Shack now. Maybe with or without SB, that is a given. So, he's just now injured and maybe holding the Shack spot fairly lightly. But Sen's actually going for the mind game, and Raven is really on top of it. So not mistakes coming through from survivors. Goes to the fake though, and it's gonna be forced to drop Shack. But that's a lot of blood given out to Sen here. I do actually notice his add-ons. He did not in fact take the hull, so he's actually not getting a lot of excess blood from our Nancy, but it does get power anyway thanks to the free tag early on. But yeah, his build is definitely more standard. I think it's probably the same as Gunther's, right? So we'll probably see like some very aggressive power usage fairly early on because he can afford to do so with the Fang. But he's actually just gonna take time off and apply Eruption around the board, just holding the power, which I feel like is one of the more underrated things as Oni. Like you don't want to be popping power. Like in pubs, you can afford to pop power because most of the survivors are just gonna sit generators like normal people. But this is comp, and of course the survivors know that you set a generator, you are like asking to fucking die. So, essentially holding the powers only, I think, in comp is something you see, number one, way more often, something. And also number two, I think, is a very difficult situation to play as the survivors. But they get the reset off somehow, and that's definitely going to ease a lot of the pressure off because that means there's going to be less blood in general. It's also going to mean that the survivors can stealth much more effectively, whether the Oni's in power or not. So it's still a very great start for Sen here. I don't want to say sensational, but I just did. So that's kind of going to count towards being 5 in the future. But he does pop the power to see someone running away. I think that was G Money. I think that was Gunther. He's got TLs to play with. Maybe a match, maybe a filler as well. But he potentially is going to go down here. Tries to crouch, but it's not going to be enough. So that is a very nice down for Sen to take. And we can see the gens don't really have that much pressure because the survivors have been doing a good job stealthing rather than going for the gens. So even though it did take quite a long time for that first down to come through, the survivors have been spending a lot of it off the generator. So you can see the pain rest comes through, stops. I believe that was going to be Kervin's generator from getting too much progress, and we'll just have to resume this in what Gunther, pretty much like a similar spot to what Gunther was in, but then Gunther had lost the generator, and also he missed like a power extract. So yeah, asking for 7 stages right now as Sen pop power, I think is probably fairly reasonable. It's going to be tough for sure for the survivors.
yeah. Now we're forced into an awkward situation where now Raven just has to live against the Oni power, and I don't think we're going to be seeing him just live. We do see the pawn to G Money in the background. That was about 50% power usage. We are going to opt to slug and try and tunnel out G Money. Now, we do have about 40% left on that gauge, and it's probably only going to be able to take one or two cracks at this, so he kind of has to get it right. He does slow KG Money. We're down to 20% on that power. We do see G Money gets the stun there as well. Sorry, as my screenshot just caught up. Beautiful stuff. And I think that's going to be Sen running out of power there on this filler. So really well played for G Money to be able to last this power and survive. That's actually quite game changing in the grand scheme of things. Now, what is the play from Resurrection here on out? I think you need to obviously get the pick up on Raven, as we do see in the background. G Money needs to get reset now. And we need to stick to the 2-2 split that we did have. I think Raven's going to get forced down for pain rest here. Which is interesting from Sen, because you'd think he'd maybe go maybe back for G Money. I don't know. He's playing for only eight stages right now, but honestly, Raven might get caught out. This tile is very, very safe, I thought, in my opinion. He is going to be able to make that long, long filler. Does keep committing around, is going, does drop that in the end, and Raven might just get caught out here over this filler. So honestly, Tavi, I think this is going to be pain res. It's not actually the worst, like, go for either side here. If this is pain res, we do see a jump up in the background. So that's two fresh, two hooks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, bit behind schedule, I think, to be honest, is Sen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I think he does sort of need to like make a move on because that slug that happened onto Raven that wasted a lot of time because Gunther managed to live even through an Oni power on ping. So that's gonna give him another generator for this. Oh my gosh! So we might just be at two generators and Zen's pretty much only working with two hooks because even though you camp this out, that's gonna be four, and that's of course not enough. So there's not much blood on the map either, so he's kind of like run out of power and also doesn't have any kind of clear tunnel out. So I'm not sure what Sen will decide to do here because it is a very tough spot. Even though he's breaking a couple of fillers, I think our survivors should be safe because you know there's still a good amount of fillers left on this map. But they're just gonna be sitting gens and Kervin's actually not one, so I guess he's set up for the pull. And no, he's actually just going to double in this scenario, and I think that's a very, again, a very, very wise decision. Because at this point, you don't care about the tunnel out. You don't care if the survivor is going to hit second stage. Because like, who cares if you're giving this killer 3 stages if you can get all the rest of the survivors out the door, which would be pretty much in this scenario more than enough to win. As Sen does want to secure the second stage anyway. Maybe we'll leave after this, but the passive power gauge is actually filling up a little, and I can see maybe a bit of the remnants of what his plan is. I think his plan is maybe just play slow to wait for the power gorge to fill up. Then you can suck in the two blood orbs at hook and potentially get something going. Especially if Raven dies on hook, that would be huge. If the game slows down that much, and then you can get power off it. But I guess he's just going to be pushing the survivors off, maybe taking a chase now onto our survivors here. But yeah, he's going to be getting shot and forcing this pull to come through. But no, Gunther's also taking chase too, so a little bit of looping with friends. But I think I do see Sen's plan here. He's kind of got like all the X's covered. If Raven dies, then he can pick up the power of the passive charge, and if he doesn't, then he can just pick it up from Raven. But at the moment, with one generator left now, maybe there could be a lot of trouble. Sen's trying the mind games as well, but Gunther's taken the long path here. Does take the nice movement. Gunther does not fall for it at all. So very, very good patience. The two movement gods coming out and showing, you know, how to play M1 killers really, really nicely. And Raven does get unhooked in the distance, but Sen's going to get power anyway. So this is, yeah, Sen needs to make full use out of this power. Needs to try and find the freshers if possible. But, oh my gosh, just now I'm thinking about it. Jams, I think we might have some kind of deja, a lack of brain coming on, because these 3 gens tonight have been pretty bad.
So yeah, Kevin, obviously not coming the hard days. Yeah, the gens are tired as the nuns. You know what? And honestly, yeah, it made before I even peeped the gens, I was just gonna say, my God, Resurrection might actually be able to pull a set back and perform some greatness here. As I'm sure most of us would like to see them put up. I don't want to say a better fight, but for lack of a better word, I will say that a better fight here. I'm sure they're not impressed with the performance, although they've been picking up the slack a bit. It's hard. It's hard. Like, you're versing some of the greatest players in OCE right now. We do see Curvin. I think he's trying to stop the crows from spawning there, Tavi. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you're a bit of a nerd in that sort of game sense and knowledge, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, those gens are tight, bro. I don't know what to say. They're gonna reset. They're gonna play it slow. I'm not too sure how realistic this is with the bro when the bro has power in his hand ready to go, but
I mean, I have no idea if like the pointing helps with the idle close, but Resurrection are trying to make a move on the gens, which I do commend because I think something similar can be said about like topside 3 gens in Cold Tower, where like Sen's in a spot where he knows that none of these like deep gens have progress, but he's gonna check on them like once and so often, and every time he does, that means his mid gen is gonna get some progress, and that's just how like the little bit of tennis match is gonna go on. If he sees any bit of progress, he might commit for the stealth, might try and find who's stealthing around. Of course, but it does actually see someone here on this deep area and pops power. I think he's trying to fake the knowledge that he saw someone else around here, but he's actually just powering, trying to find someone
Oh
around this
no.
mid area, but no one's here. Sen, I thought you were gonna go back to see that survivor. I think that was the ace back on the generator, but now he's stealthing around this tower. You know he's stealthing around the tower because he's doing run towards it, but no, this is
Oh.
Gunther, but he
Oh.
misses. What does that miss? I think. What does that? Okay, well, I mean, auto a moment, but I guess Gunther's gonna make it away from this safely. I think he slow vaulted. No, he went around. He's gonna make the window yet again. This is already 50% of the power gone. Gunther's going for the juice. I don't think he makes this though. Yeah, okay. Sen has good patience there, gets the down, and Gunther might just be put on the second hook in this 3-gen. So, I don't think again there might be a lot. I don't think there is going to be a lot of blood around this area of the map because they did reset Gunther and Raven. That was they reset on the other side of the map. So there won't be that much blood, but at the same time now you have this hook in the 3-gen. Pretty much like look at this like legit as you were talking about like legit like one link distance on this. But the survivors still got to be stealthing pretty hard around here because they can't afford to really show their position because then that would just be like they'd just be bad, you know. So they are trying to play aggressive for that mid gen because they need to now. They're on a timer. Gunther is going to die in just around 50 seconds, so if they don't make a move, that will just force a 3v1. But if they just let him die, then like to try and get focus on the gens, maybe Sen can commit for that bot side like pool of blood, which is far away, and pick up power, and then suddenly things again are just looking really bad in 3v1 with power. So it's hard to say. Resurrection are just playing this low game though. Maybe they decide to unhook Gunther, but again, doing that would give power. So pretty much whatever you do here for Resurrection, you're faced with the Oni getting power, and then they just need it somehow like GG out some insane shit to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, Sen's showing his killer instinct, if you will. Shorter, shorter, sort of tapping into that ability to, I guess, as else in the basketball NBA scene called that clutch gene. Pretty consistent when it comes to this sort of scenario. Always able to perform when the lights are brightest, and it's very impressive to see that he he's actually really, really solid at a very good range of killers. Probably, I'd comfortably say you could chuck this man on at least 75% of the killer pool, and he would just dominate. So I think that needs to be noted that his versatility is very, very shown tonight. Has been shown. What also has been shown, Tavi, like we've said a couple of times, is the lack of breaking the 3-gen. Now, I didn't know this was actually the bottom side of the map. I'll be completely honest. I thought that was the top side of the
I have
map.
no idea
So,
either, bro. I have no
uh,
idea.
we just, my team just improvised the comms, but we do see sensational, get that down onto Alex there at Shack, and dare I say, Tavi, that might just be our time up on the desk, as we will probably have, I believe it's Sir Smunk and Hunter next casting. And the reason I said that is because if Alex dies on this hook, which he very well could, that is the win for Zetsuobou, and that will be 3-0 Tavi. Shocking when you say it out loud. Very shocking.
Yeah, I definitely thought that Resurrection had a good chance at some of the sets. Sorry, I just got like
I think Tavi just got disconnected again. Bro, someone started a GoFundMe for Tavi to sort this man out. A new laptop. Take your spotlight back. You're up, brother. Go crazy.
Alright, so I just get like a doo doo doo, and then the thing just closes. But I thought Resurrection would have chances on like this, especially like a Dark Lord. Knowing that Source, like X Source, I mean, so X Snap wouldn't be playing Dark Lord. I wasn't entirely sure whether back he would deliver, but he did, and that kind of I guess put things in his favor because again, Gunther and Sen, I think maybe it's a bit of a what? Maybe a bit of a generalization to compare them. But look, they both play Blight. They both got some funny movement. They both can clutch up. They both have insane game sense, and like a lot of the sets I think tonight have just been screaming like Gunther and Sen, and Sen's definitely showing up on top here on the killer. So that was I think the battle that I was kind of looking forward to. But I yeah I definitely thought Resurrection would take at least a set here, whether it be Billy, whether it be Blind, because I just honestly I just I just believed that Sen would not deliver for some reason, and I've been shown completely otherwise here as he does get the second kill. That's just more than enough to win, I believe, because yeah, like how's this gen gonna pop it? Realistically, Kervin needs to last the entire Oni power and gate open, so yeah, he's just gonna go down, and that's kills for K1. So I Hmm. Yeah, Resurrection is going out. That's unfortunate to see. Guess I'm a Resurrection fan, for the lack of anything better to say in terms of being a fan. And yeah, we'll
Oof.
be seeing a nice little flick to finish up the trial. So yeah, 4K1, Zetsubo are going to be into your semifinals. Not semifinals, into your finals, and we'll have to see who's going to be matched up against them because, as we were saying before, it's going to be Kaito Kids and Gospel in the next set in the next series. I mean, so yeah, whichever comes out on top, I think is going to be an insane matchup because both both teams are going to be like proven to be the best in their group, and maybe we can see like a Os kind of finals. Maybe we see Kaito Kids and Zetsubo, which we've actually seen in the group stages. Um, I don't know, but still, anyway, nevertheless, Zetsubo making it through, and I'm not sure what the tipping looks like. Maybe I should have checked that earlier, but yeah, I guess a lot of the players are looking towards Zetsubo.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't tipping either, Tavi. I would have thought it would be very, very close. Nah, but as you alluded to, that will be Resurrection's time in season three, coming to an end. So very well played to them. Massive shout out to Resurrection. You guys played well. Massive shout out to Zetsubo making the grand finals. First team to secure their spot. Very well played. Had a very good performance against, I believe it was Sanity the first week of finals. Followed it up with a good performance tonight as well. So it looks like they're going to be the versing Quinna and the Kaito kids, or the super team at Gospel, which will be the matchup that we do have right after this. But yeah, like I said, well played to Zetsubo. You guys really deserved the win tonight. Really dominant performance. But with that being said, much love to everybody. Much love to Harvey. I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go have a lay down. We will be replaced, myself and Tavi, by probably even better casters. I think Tavi will have no problem or issue with me saying that. So with that being
Nah,
said,
you're good.
much love to everybody. Have a safe night. And please stay around for this next game that we have coming up.